Morning on my blue collar workers, on my YouTubers, on my people out there that like to watch me. Hopefully I can get some more subscribers up. So I keep getting questions about HVAC. How do I get into HVAC? And I think a lot of people don't really understand exactly what HVAC is. So there's multiple different aspects to HVAC. For instance, I'm in the construction, so I'm a union pipe fitter on the construction side. So pipe fitting is HVAC. We install all the piping for heating and cooling systems. We also do other things such as gas piping, oil. We do boilers. We do data centers, in-floor heat. We do a lot of stuff, anything to do with piping, but it's considered HVAC. That's on the construction side. So we're doing like new systems. We're building new systems, either ripping out old systems and putting an entire new system in, or new buildings, we put that in. Also, HVAC is also like residential. So you have the people that come to your house and they're going to work on your home heating and cooling system. That's also HVAC. We have another program in our apprenticeship that's the service side. So when you come in for ours, I don't know, different locals are a little bit different, but for ours, when you go in and put in your application, you're either going to put in for construction or service. If you put in for service, I believe they want a year HVAC school, or maybe some kind of on-the-job experience in HVAC before you get into the service side. Construction side, they teach you everything. You don't need any HVAC experience. So service is a little bit different. So I'm not exactly sure, so I'm not going to speak to things I don't know, but I do know that they have a little bit different way that the contract's set up, because they don't necessarily work a regular 7 to 3 like we do. They work different hours, and a lot of times if you're in the service side, you're going to get your own truck or van. I believe there's 2 different parts of service as well. There's like commercial service, where you would go and repair units that are out in say big buildings or something. That would be considered that part. And then there's also the residential side, where you go just to pretty much houses. And I believe some of them times they're on call. I think they have a different wage schedule for weekend work. I'm not 100% sure. I just know it's a little bit different. For me, I wouldn't do good in service. Like I wouldn't like that. I like construction because it's a little bit more run around. It's not, I mean, sometimes it can be pretty dirty, but you don't have to really deal with customers. You don't deal with nobody except for your foreman and the contractor sometimes. So that's the difference between that. There's also the sheet metal workers are considered, we call them tinners. They're considered HVAC as well. They do like duct work. Pretty much all the duct work that's done in any system that's all the tinners. So that's also considered HVAC. Now you got electricians. They're not considered HVAC, but they do a lot of the they, like, anytime we have like control valves and stuff, they do all the wiring for that. So I mean, they're kind of involved in HVAC as well, but they're not considered HVAC. So when you're thinking about HVAC, there's you got a couple different options what you really want to think about. You got to decide what it is that you want to do. I can't really speak to where you would make the most money. I feel like pipe fitting, you got a better chance. If you want to travel or something, you could travel and you can be going all over making lots of money if you're working time. So if you're working 12s or 10s and getting per diem. Residential, I don't necessarily know that they travel too far, because I mean, in the city area, they probably got plenty of work. So I'm not 100% sure on that. So I know everybody keeps asking me about HVAC and how do you get into HVAC. HVAC is a couple different things. So you kind of got to decide, what do you want to do? Do you want to do construction? You want to do service? You want to do commercial service? You want to do residential service? Up here, that's still pipe fitting. You'd still put into, if you want to get into the union. Now there's a lot of non-union residential and commercial HVAC companies. So I can't speak to their pay package. I believe that they may pay a little bit more on the check, but you're not going to get all the benefits. You're not going to get the pensions that you give to union. Pension's super underrated. So I mean, if you want to be able to retire comfortably, you really got to look into a pension. Look at what it means. You can retire well off and never have to worry about nothing again. So I don't know. That's just my little morning rant for you guys. Everybody keeps asking me about HVAC this, HVAC that. To be honest with you, I don't know a ton about the service side. I'm not in the service side. I'm in the construction side. And for me, I'm the type of person, I prefer the construction side. I wouldn't do well in the service setting. So hopefully that's a little bit helpful for you guys. If you guys are interested in any more information about HVAC or getting into the trade, I would suggest look up local pipe fitting unions near you and see if they have a service apprenticeship program, and see what the requirements are to get into that. That'd be your best first start. Other than that, if anybody got any questions, feel free to leave a message. I always try to respond to messages whenever I can. Usually pretty quick about it. And there's a couple other, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube you can look up on HVAC. I just don't have a ton of information on the service side, just because I try to only speak to things that I actually know about or things I've been through. When we have our classes at the training center, we don't have classes with the HVAC guys. They have separate classes. They do different things. Construction is based a lot more on welding. I don't know the service side. They don't really do too much welding. They do probably a lot more threaded and Victolic, the boring stuff. I'm sure they sweat copper and stuff like that too, but I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a bad idea, but for me, construction's where it's at. So hopefully that helps you guys. Hope everybody having a good day out there. With that, I'm gonna go get cold.